Okay.
Hi everyone. Just checking to see if you can hear us. I know we're running a little behind time.
Yeah.
We are having some network issues, so that's not great. But we are here. When we've had these issues in the past, because of our building, you will still be able to hear us, but apologies for the picture. We do want to be here for you to tell you stuff. You just might get some weird freeze frames of us, unfortunately. But hi.
Hi.
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
Yes.
Like we're not saying anything because it's all very like complicated and technical, so I have no idea what's happening.
Yes.
Oh, a couple minutes away. A couple minutes stabilizes, but it's super annoying. You wanted Yannick, you got Yannick. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, feels good.
I'm not sure what you're looking for.
Is Yannick wearing the turtleneck?
I honestly, I threw it at him earlier.
Yeah. Oh.
It's
Yeah.
down here.
Oh, I put it there. It's gone
It's
now.
here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to
Oh,
put it
it's
on
gone.
and make it an appearance?
I will wear it for a special occasion.
Is our sound still on?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, we'll meet. We'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome to State of the Game number 140. We are what? 4th of December?
Yes. Yes.
We're off to a good start.
We're off to a really good start.
Wait, it's the recording. So when is that going live? 4th of December.
We're also back on brand with the Division themed cards at Yannick's request. It may not be on, I mean, I like to think of it like it's in the Division world.
It's the Division world.
People are still playing the Division
But
1,
I think-
so this is acceptable.
I think we're going to have to start asking George to write a 2 manually
Yeah.
on each one of them
Yep.
to make sure that we're clear.
And also, it's fine.
Drew is super loud.
Drew
We can't hear
is
Hamish.
super loud.
I think they probably heard me through
This is
your
good.
microphone though, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew is super loud.
We're good.
That is
That's
a blanket statement.
That's just true. So
In other
sorry.
news,
Sorry.
in other news, and other fun things that you're going to find out through the stream is George has really done a great job of telling me.
Yeah.
Look, what's the success rate of George getting
Look
this?
at that.
There we go.
Look at that. So
Fun mini game for you.
yeah.
Hi.
We did specifically ask him to make sure they were actually not upside down.
Look, it's been a few weeks. We're out of practice with State of the Game, but this one's a a cool stream, and I'm glad to have both of you here.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
That's good to be here.
For those of you that don't know Drew and Yannick, would you mind just briefly giving us the elevator pitch of what you do at Massive? I mean, there's always new players to the game, right? So
Yeah.
That's true.
you
Should I
first.
go first?
Go,
Yes.
go first.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Yannick. I'm Associate Creative Director on The Division.
Yep. Oh, I do want to just say to chat, we are having issues with our network. I feel like every time I've brought this up with IT, it's a case of we're moving really soon.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be better.
you can hear us loud and clear, I think, with even through the dropped frames that we are having. I am recording this locally, so if you want to watch it back without the dropped frames, I'll make sure that that's the version that goes up on YouTube. But apologies for our network absolutely shitting the bed, so to speak.
T3 Feather say he's also the boss in the underground. That is true. There are rumors, but there's also, for some reason,
Maybe. For some
there
reason.
may or may not
Someone at this table may have.
be a Yannick NPC. in
But
it.
I interrupted rudely before you were going to explain who you are.
That's right. So I'm Drew. I'm Drew Reckner. I'm Associate Game Director on Division 2.
There you go. All right, so just quickly before we get into a lot of the conversation we're going to have surrounding the Division 2, some new stuff, some stuff we haven't mentioned, some stuff we even haven't mentioned in the social posts that have been teasing the show. There's some cool stuff coming up. Let's get to this week's priority alerts. So you can basically find out all the stuff you need to know before you leave, because you're not interested in other stuff. But
I can't get enough of all those screens, actually.
I know.
It's just like, oh my god.
But if you do leave, you're going to miss out on something cool. All right, so there's a maintenance tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I even have a separate note for this.
Yeah, that's actually a post-it because that's one of those last-minute things.
But that's how we do it. But so Kenley's coming back.
Yeah, so there was a bit of a hiccup with the planning. So Kenley College was supposed to reopen yesterday. Was yesterday, right? But it didn't somehow for, I don't know, schedule reasons. So we're gonna have to do a quick maintenance tomorrow to open it.
Good to
and
know.
then from there on, it's gonna be open for 1 week.
All right, there's also an issue fix that blocked the progression in Manny National Zoo by not triggering the next stage when you're trying to locate Emmeline. There's an issue as well. There was an issue, or there was. There was an issue. This is fixed. Am I correct? Yeah, fixed an issue that blocked progression in Manny National Zoo by not triggering the next objective after planting the C4. Also, title update 6.1 is coming next week.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes, it is.
So that's going to be what? Normal maintenance window, 9:30 to 12:30.
Yeah, it should be normal maintenance. Yeah.
All right, and we have some specifics to talk about in this show
Yes.
today. I kind of wanted to have a quick chat before we get to those conversations about what's been happening, what's been going on, because a few weeks ago there was some messaging that went out. You know, there's not going to be a state of the game till the new year. Obviously, that's not true. Because we're
not
here and
true.
it's December.
Somebody's been lying to you.
But it's a bigger thing, right? I mean, we've been around the block with this show after 140 times,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's fair to say that it's had its ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
We've learnt what,
It's a way to say it, yeah.
philosophically, we know what we want to do. We want to really have a conversation with players, and I don't think we've been fulfilling that in the best way possible.
No, not for some time, and I think the community has been very loud and vocal about it for very good reasons. About the fact that we've been kind of missing the mark on being as transparent as we've been in the past, and really interacting and conversing with all of you. So that's really what we want to bring back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last thing I ever want is for players to feel like unheard.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? So
sure.
we can definitely do better with that. So
Yes.
there you go.
So we will do better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starting now.
So there you go.
Starting now.
You said that last time.
Yeah.
But I think it's important.
Yeah.
We've been a little bit quiet, and I think rightly so, like you say, it's led people to believe that there's not a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's wrong, because
Yeah.
there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
And I think it's just to add a bit, but yeah, it's it does create that situation where people start to think that we're moving on, or we're giving up on the game, or we're just packing our bags or whatever. That's just really not the case. So that's why it's important for us to just keep talking and actually give you guys a bit more visibility on what we're working on, because there's a lot of things we're working on.
Yeah. On that note, also one of the things that we have now is we have chat up. I mean, a lot of people talking about things like survival and underground and that sort of stuff, and there's been...
I think we've seen that
a lot of
maybe
times.
a couple times.
We may have
Right?
seen a few mentions of survival.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything like... Got anything to tell me on those things? Because I think,
Yeah.
in the effort of transparency, is there anything we can say about people's questions on those things?
Yeah.
Of course. Oh, you're looking at me, okay.
Yeah. Come on.
Sorry, because that's quite a build-up, but just to tell you that, no, at the moment we're not planning to bring back Underground or Survival. We're very interested with those modes, and we really like them. And there's a lot of elements in them that we like, so there are a lot of elements that are inspirations for things we're working on.
For sure.
The modes themselves, Underground and Survival, we don't have plans to bring them back, and we just want that to be very clear for everyone. There's a bunch of other things we're working on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
And just because there are not plans right now doesn't mean there will never be plans, or that we won't incorporate what made those things super interesting and fun in maybe a new way or something like that, right? So,
cool. That's good. But like I was saying before, we're going to be here more to have those discussions.
Yes.
So, let's keep talking about it. The people that have logged in recently will also know there's been a Black Friday care package. That's your last chance to grab it is basically today, because it ends tomorrow. So all you have to do is log in, right?
Yeah, you just need to log in, and if everything goes fine, you should find 3 caches in your mailbox in the stash. So you go in the stash, you go 1 tab to the right, I think, and there you can find your mailbox. So just know, because some people, it's a bit confusing for some, but we say it's 3 caches and 3 keys, apparel keys. But the keys are actually inside the caches. So don't expect to find 3 caches and 3 keys when you go in your mailbox. You're just going to find 3 caches, and then when you open them, you get the keys. Cool. Very important.
You may also notice that I've been extremely confused looking at this card, because it's up the right way, but actually it should be this way. I was trying to read upside down. George is 1 from 2 currently. So there are some things coming in 6.1 on December 6th. No, December 10th.
December 10th.
Yes.
TU 6.1.
Yes.
The ongoing battle against audio bugs.
Yes.
There's been some improvements there.
yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
It's,
Yeah. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. It's a constant thing, and we've been working on those for a while already, and should be some good improvements with 6.1. Doesn't mean it's going to fix everything, but it should improve the situation drastically for a lot of people.
Cool. I need to chase up on I know we had some people in chat yesterday when I was playing, asking about the issue that we talked about on the last stream, which was with people who were streaming on their Xbox and not getting game audio through. So if you are streaming on Xbox, I'll chase that up for you, because I know at the time we said that in the next update there was likely a fix for it, but I'll double check on that.
Yeah.
Fixed an issue that caused apparel items to stop dropping in the world before players had collected all 72. That's good.
Yeah.
Do you know about the issue with people who weren't able to chat in any form?
I don't know about that.
Okay, all right. But apparently
I don't know the details of the
but
issue.
it's fixed.
Apparently that is fixed too. The alarm.
Yes.
The alarm.
The alarm that everyone loves. Every time I play, I just love that alarm. I can't get
So
enough
soothing.
of it. No, it's
It's gone. It's gone. It's gone again.
Again.
So
just took us 9 months.
grain of salt. It's fixed. Probably. Can I say probably?
Yes.
no. It is.
It doesn't say probably on my notes.
It doesn't. It says it is fixed.
These guys saved the Division 1 Crisis PC. Thanks for saving the Division 1, Drew.
No
thank
pressure.
You. That's.
You guys saved the Division 2 now.
Nice.
Come on, Drew.
Right. Improved, you talked about this before, improved the loot UI to hide dropped item details while in combat so they don't block your view.
Yes.
Yes.
Was super annoying.
Which, was, by the way, was always the intent, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm glad that I think we got it right this time.
Great.
But, always supposed to be the intent.
Cool. We've also identified an issue that prevented Xbox players from installing the game from disk and are fixing this in 6.1. So if you don't want to install from disk if you have been digitally downloading and for some reason you want to install from a disk, I'm not judging you because I still have a CD-ROM drive in my PC.
But it's
because
no,
I
it's,
need it.
But it's mostly on Xbox, and it's especially for new players that just buy the game today and want to install it on their Xbox. They may be facing this issue where they won't be able to install it, which is really not cool.
It's not a small download.
No, it's not a small download. So yeah, that's going to be fixed next week as well.
Great. And we're still investigating issues on the whole invisible wall thing we've been talking about before. People have been reporting those, and that's always helpful. And there are some fixes in 6.1. You were saying that there's something in the works.
Yeah, we're working on something just to help with all these situations where NPCs spawn behind a wall and then you can't kill them and all these kind of things. So there's a fix that's in the works for that. Will it be ready for 6.1? Still TBD, but at least there's something in the works.
Cool. I realized we didn't show it before, but I just want to go back and remind people again about the Black Friday caches. It's free stuff. But we actually have an image, I think, for the Black Friday caches, so you can see that thing. So until tomorrow, 3 apparel caches and 3 pieces of equipment. Who doesn't like free stuff?
Yes.
I mean, free stuff is good free stuff. That will be waiting for you in there. So again, next Tuesday for TU 6.1, we've got the bug fixes that we're talking about just now. We've also talked previously about the negotiator's dilemma changes. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah. So the 3-piece changed, right? Which is the grenade that gets thrown.
Yeah.
So there's a fuse now added to it. Now the reason why that we think is a big improvement, right, is because of all the signaling that comes with it, right? You can actually see the grenade. You know that it's there. You can avoid harming yourself or harming your teammates because now they have a warning about it to get away. Of course, in PvP, there's also a warning. It's a good overall, I think, change for it. And it feels a lot more like a grenade, like it was kind of intended, right?
Cool.
So we're excited about that change.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like it makes sense.
I just want to point, because I don't know if it's in the list, but Moku-chan was asking if we talked about Cassie Mendoza. We haven't talked, but we have a bunch of fixes that are coming for Cassie as well.
A bunch.
In 6.1.
Do you know off the top of your head what they might be or what they are trying to fix?
So we have. I'm gonna try not to say anything wrong, but no, we have fixes to the actual items that are going in there to make sure that we don't end up with stuff that you couldn't acquire. Or there was. Sorry,
you had to have some.
I'm confusing myself with all the other things, but no. Basically, there was the thing where you needed to have the
ivory keys,
the hunter keys
exactly.
to actually be able to buy items, which are named items. Which
well, there was the 13% gloves on the other week that a lot of people missed out on.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was that. Then there's also a UI thing where the UI on the map would tell you that Cassie would respawn in X time, even though she was actually spawned. So it was very confusing. And the last one was her actually not spawning, visually not spawning, that would go there. So a bunch of stuff, hopefully to just try to make it clearer when she's actually there and when she's not.
All right. I also want to talk about, I want to move on because we've got some other fun stuff.
Yes.
There is a holiday event. Woo!
Yes.
So we have an image. I kind of want to show the image before we kind of go into explaining what it is.
Okay.
I promise I will. All right. Situation Snowball starts on December 10th.
Which is very serious.
Super serious.
There's a situation.
It's a situation, everyone. So from the image, I promised Marv that I would wear a Santa hat. And obviously now you can tell my head is way too big for anything. God. There you go. That's all.
So there you go. This was the only reason you should have come to the state of the game. Now we're done.
Yeah. No, but
Amish was wearing the hat.
So I think it's cool. Like the Division's a pretty serious game, right?
Yes.
So it's always nice to kind of have a bit of fun as well. I don't have any footage of the gun, but it's going to be really cool.
Yes.
It is. Do we want to? We don't want to spoil it. We want to be surprised.
We'll leave it. Maybe next.
Yeah. Next time.
Next time.
Okay.
You'll see.
It's pretty fun.
Okay.
I mean, it says Snowball.
It's kind of dumb in an amazing way.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
I think
I'm really
I gave it away there, but
yeah.
It's just.
I mean, it's super serious.
There you go. I mean, there's going to be some festive decorations on the login screen.
Yes.
There's going to be a holiday care package that has one of those hats I just wore. So I know a lot of people have been thinking maybe it would be that. There's going to be 3 pieces of equipment. I'm assuming that's similarly how the Black Friday caches worked.
Yeah, there's also extra items like that. Yes.
But since there's an apparel event as well that goes with this, and more on that in a second, there's going to be 3 apparel event caches if you log in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Now on to how do you get the gun? Because the Hoarder NPC, I think it's the Hoarder NPC, not the Ambusher group, but just the Hoarder NPC will have
He's
one
a
of those
member
hats.
of the Ambushers, right?
Yes.
He'll have a hat on, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So he's the. By the way, I don't think we've really talked about him publicly very much, right?
No, I don't think
Hoarder.
so.
So the Hoarder, right? What he tries to do is if you sneak up on him, you can either shoot his backpack or you can kill him and you get his loot, right? If you don't, if you miss or something like that, he'll run away and he'll lead you actually to an ambush where his friends will kind of jump in and start fighting. So that's kind of in general how he works.
He rarely survives that long, though.
True. But now he has a little extra special loot. in
Yes.
his giant backpack.
And I'm allowed to say because it's written here. It's called the Slayer. Spelt as you would imagine for a holiday event.
Oh,
There you go. Okay. And it shoots snowballs,
Time for my
like
brain
we
to,
said before. And this is cool. I don't know if you're responsible for it, but it will confuse enemies when you hit them with snowballs.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
so you just spoiled
That's
the
what's
whole
on my
game.
notes.
I thought we were trying to keep it secret, but
No, no.
It's-
Look, this is a thing.
I thought
It's a guaranteed
it's
drop.
like, should we keep it secret? And
Nah.
then read these notes, and it's like, oh,
That's
yeah.
fine.
nah.
So you have a snowball gun.
All right.
Yeah. It's a
ga-
snowball gun.
It's a guaranteed drop the first time you kill the Hoarder,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
there'll be a chance following that
Exactly.
after you get that guaranteed
exactly.
drop. I love it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Where do you find the Hoarder? Just out in the open world,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
He'll
if
even,
you roam
like-
an open world long enough, you'll find him.
Yeah.
He'll try and
And you should notice it fairly easily.
he'll try and debate
Yeah.
you, and he's like, he's got some barks as well. He's like, oh, come and get
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Do you know actually, when we were developing the Hoarder, before the character model was made, we just kit bashed something together to make him stand out, and we actually gave him the bunny outfit from Division 1. And the whole dev team was like, who is this giant bunny that I'm shooting? It makes no sense. And then it made a lot more sense when we got
There
in
you
the
go.
actual character
Easter
model.
event idea.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just going to say, can we do an Easter
Yes.
event?
Let's do it.
Totally.
Peter is going to be Superman.
Yes, that's the loot goblin, as I've seen a lot in chat. That's
Yeah.
that's who we're talking about.
That's the
exactly.
that's
Yeah,
the logic, of course.
Newfie Ninja saying the Hoarder usually finds you. That's true. So just if you play, there's a high chance that you'll find a
Yeah.
Hoarder.
Yeah.
If you're out in the open world.
Totally.
I guess it doesn't spawn in the dark zone.
No.
There you go. So just run around and you'll find one. The apparel event I mentioned before, entitled Silent Nights, that is starting on December 10th, so that's next Tuesday as well, and it will end basically on the last day of 2019, so December 31st. The keys that you get as well can be used 1 week longer than that, until January 7th.
Yeah.
And there are some changes about how keys are acquired.
Yeah.
Do you know about this one?
Yeah, so it's just so for apparel events, it used to be a chance to get a key every time you would level up, basically. The problem with that is that means there's chances that you're going to have very unlucky streaks because you can maybe you don't get a key this level and then next level, like the role doesn't take any or doesn't care if you got a key before or not. So that means you can have like pretty bad unlucky streaks where you're not getting anything. So we wanted to fix that, and so what we're doing now is basically we want to make it very predictable, where you know where you're at in terms to when are you getting your next key. So now basically it's going to be every 3 levels, every 3 field proficiency, you get a key, or every 5 dark zone levels. And the game will tell you that. So if you don't get one, it will tell you next key in 2 levels, next key in 1 level.
Which I think is a lot more honest and fair.
Yeah, it's just much more clear.
Right.
So you know exactly where you stand,
Yeah.
and therefore you're never really wasting your time because every XP you gain brings you closer to the next key. Whereas until now, if you work to level up, and then you don't get anything, it's wasted.
I guess the
in that
highest
regard.
value thing for people to do when they log in, if they're really interested in it, is do the weekly apparel project, because you get 3 keys from that.
Yes.
And then I
Right.
guess if you're leveling up as well
Yeah.
at the same time,
Exactly.
that's cool too. And you can gift apparel event keys. What?
Yes.
That's cool.
So now when you purchase them, you can actually give them to a friend.
Christmas.
So that's, yeah.
Cool. I like that. We actually have an image of the 4 outfits. Can we take a look at these? They are kind of dark. I like it though. It's very Tim Burton.
But they're more serious this time around, right?
I like it.
You'd think,
I like it.
You'd think that with Christmas and holiday, we would have gone like all holiday theme, but I mean,
People are into the Reaper. No,
you know,
I love it.
You know, when we did summer event, people had opinions about this kind of funny looks. So we thought we'd go the opposite and have a bit of a dark Christmas, dark holiday.
Well, see, people are like, yeah, no flip-flops. I love the flip-flops and the scuba stuff.
Do you really?
Well, I kind of love-hate them.
Yeah?
You know what I mean?
You like hate them.
I'm kind of like, ugh.
But in the
But I'm like,
in the game or in real life?
No, in real life, I wear jandals to work all the time.
Well, but
it's great.
But Lionel, who's a producer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wears just the most. He picks the most ridiculous things he possibly can on his character, and he wears them all together. So he'll wear the flip-flops, the cowboy hat. I mean,
but let's be real. A lot of our audience
hilarious.
don't want that. So it's really cool, and people.
I don't either.
People pointed out the hoodie is something really cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Because you don't get that in many other places.
But so this is, I mean, even though that's maybe a bit of a distance away from the holiday theme, depends on what kind of holidays you want to have. I mean, that's also just kind of an answer to the request we've been having for a while of like having a bit more like, like I don't know how to say, but like serious tactical kind of things.
Yeah.
Not saying that all of these are tactical, but it's just kind of like going in that direction. And this is the kind of thing we want to do more moving forward.
Absolutely.
I kind of like just got like that feeling when you're going like on a roller coaster and like the drop and your stomach goes. Ugh. I'm like so excited for this next bit. I'm like, I'm getting that. Can we?
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything.
Okay.
I just want to show the thing.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
There's more.
There's a video that I'm really excited about. Can we just show that real quick?
Agent vital signs 0.
That's a thing.
Should we just wait and let chat speculate?
Did.
So
it's I'm super excited about it. It's a little side thing that some people in the office have been working on.
Yeah.
It's so we're going to talk about kind of how this fits into the whole Division 2 thing. Hardcore characters.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why soon. But it's can you tell us more about the development side of how this thing kind of came about? I mean, in my notes it says it was my idea, but
yeah, I don't know why there isn't.
Okay.
It was Hamish's idea. It was
no, I didn't.
Hamish all along.
Okay, here's the thing. I mentioned
Hamish did it.
If it was your idea, I did not know that.
I mentioned this on stream for Division 1 years and years and years ago because I love hardcore games.
He
and I was
stayed
like,
1 hour overtime one evening, and then it was like, there you go. I coded something.
That's how video games are made.
Yes.
Right there.
yeah, I'm that guy who is like, I'm the ideas guy. I just need a whole dev team to make this thing for me. No, but I mentioned it ages ago because I love playing hardcore in other games. Like Diablo 2, hardcore is my jam. And I've always said it would be so cool for our game. And the community was already doing this. If you remember, like Sage was doing, I don't know if Sage is in chat.
And some people are asking, like, what does this actually mean? It means permanent death. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so hardcore, just to describe the mode real quick for people who don't know, means you create a character, you start from scratch, you don't have access to your stash or anything that would give you an advantage from your other characters. You're completely isolated. You can play the game, it's the normal game, it's the normal campaign, no changes there, but as soon as you die, your character is permanently dead, and then you need to start a new one.
See, it sounds like a simple premise, and it is, but I think that simple premise changes everything. But this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I'm not being like, I'm not trying to overhype because this is something we're kind of trying out in a different development thing, right? It's more of a beta than anything,
For sure.
right?
It was developed a little bit differently than how we would normally develop things, right?
Yeah.
It was very kind of a small group of people were really excited about the idea. kind of pushed it in because we're working on other things we haven't talked about. And the small team said, "Hey, we're going to do this. We're really excited about it. We're going to put it in, and you know what? Like, let's just release it as soon as we can because we think the community would think this is cool too." So it was a little bit different than how we kind of normally have, kind of bigger packages with lots of people involved and lots of decision making and a big ramp up time usually of months and months and months and months before release. So it was pretty fun.
What about you, Yannick? Where do you land? Are you as excited as I am?
I am really excited. I'm especially excited to see just where people are going to go with it. And I was reading, and I see a lot of people that are just like, yeah, why are you doing that? I don't care about that. I'd rather have other things. And it's like, one, just understand that this is a side project that some people have been working on because they were like they thought it was fun, and that's really us just putting it out there and saying, hey, we have that thing, so how about you try it and tell us what you think about it. And two, it's definitely not something that's for everyone.
Sure.
That's for sure. Like, we don't expect everyone to go in there and have a great time because it can be
Absolutely.
super frustrating to die. But it's that kind of little thing that, as we said, like from the first game, some people have been saying like, yeah, what about we had a permadeath mode?
Sorry, you go.
Well, I was going to say, like, the reason why it changes the way you experience the game, right, is there's not really a penalty on death if you play the Division 2, right? The thing you lose is time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And so really, like, what we're saying now is you don't actually like lose time, you lose your character. Like, that character is permanently dead.
Yes.
That's why it changes everything.
Yeah.
And this is going back to what Chad is saying. Will it affect your current characters? Not at all. This
No.
is entirely separate. And
New character.
that's why I think it changes everything. One,
Yes.
you're going to play entirely differently.
Yeah.
The types of gear you're going to go for will be entirely different. Do you want to answer that one?
When?
Yeah.
Well, that's 6.1. That's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Next
kind of
week.
the cool thing with this. It's not something that we're wanting to hold on to forever. We just want to get it out there, have people experience it, and have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to answer a few questions, because there's a bunch of questions in chat. This takes up a character slot. We're not adding character slots with this one, so that means that if you have 4 characters, sadly, you're going to have to delete 1 if you want to create a hardcore character. Once your character is dead, well, the slot is available again because you're not going to keep it. But yes, just to be clear, this takes character slots for the moment, at least. Again, this is a first iteration we're putting out there, and we're going to keep working on it.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, we'll want feedback on this, right?
Yeah,
This is something that we're
definitely.
super interested in hearing about where you want us to take this in the future.
Yes, definitely. Also, people asking about rewards, hardcore rewards, or whatever. There's a few. There's one actually.
There's one. I have a picture of it.
I'm not going to spoil it. But then once you're in the game, again, we're not changing anything. So that means it's the same loot drops, whatever, and everything. When you die, all of that is lost. There is no gameplay reward that carries over to your main character. So just to be clear on that.
Yeah.
So no one has asked about playing a raid with a hardcore character yet.
Oh no! So
That is the ultimate experience right there.
I saw one person and it was
Okay.
Solid. Solid was like, who's
Yes.
going to have the hardcore first Eagle Bearer?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's,
person is a
Yeah.
badass.
No kidding. Dark Zone?
Yeah, no, those people are like.
People were asking, but I mean, you can. Like, again, we're not
Yeah,
we're not changing any of the content, so everything is available, and then the world is your oyster. Do what you want with it.
Shinya is saying, without a season mechanic, it's an unfinished game mode. That's entirely true. This is an unfinished game mode.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a hardcore beta that we want to get out to people to
exactly.
play and experience.
It's actually going to be shown as beta in the game, just to make it clear, because yes, it's unfinished, and there might be cases where it's not going to behave properly. So once again, it's one of those cases where we thought, well, maybe we just put it out there like that, so people can have fun with it and help us like shape it the way they want, rather than wait until we have something like super polished and super final.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to do things a bit different here.
Yes. I saw some other people. Yeah, there's some good questions. Is stash share between all hardcore characters? I don't know. Like, if you have multiple hardcore characters, do they share the stash?
I don't think so. I think you don't have access to the stash at all, right?
I'm not sure.
I think
to
we
be
would have
honest.
to check into that and
I'm
get
not
back
sure.
to you.
I'm not sure how
Yeah.
that behaves. I mean, everything that is at least matchmaking and all of that, you're only going to be matchmade with other hardcore characters.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can't play with your friends that are not on a hardcore character. You can't
Right.
matchmake with people that are not
Right.
hardcore. The only thing that carries between your normal characters and your hardcore is all the vanity and cosmetic stuff you have,
Cool.
because that's account.
Yeah.
So
But that's it.
on that note, there's a couple of things. So next Tuesday, when you get into the game with the update of 6.1, you will see a character creation screen that looks a little different. And I think I have a picture of what that looks like that we can show you. So it's not a surprise to you. There you go, hardcore mode beta. Just so you get a warning what you're doing when you're making one of those characters.
Yeah.
And by the way, I saw a comment a while ago from Braden, who actually worked on this. He made this the screen and everything.
Yes.
He had commented, and unfortunately, we didn't get to see what it said because his
Yeah.
comment was automatically deleted. But
You'll also notice some nice Christmas decorations on that screen. So that's part of
There you go.
the Snowball event.
Trash Panda Techie says, is DZ also a separate hardcore instance? Every hardcore character only plays on a hardcore only server. You won't
yes,
come across
yes.
any
You'll
other.
like if you go to the Dark Zone, you're not going to see non-hardcore players.
Yes.
Hardcore DZ is where it's going to be at. So
Yeah.
I know there's
If you're
people.
gonna go
I'm
rogue.
curious if people will want to do it, but you
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
So
That'd be great.
when this discussion first came up internally, I know that like you get a level 30 character and you're like, oh, the DZ, will I ever do it? One of the things we used to do back in my day on Diablo 2 was Iron Man's, right?
Yeah,
so what
yeah,
you can
right.
do is you would
Back
like,
in my days.
everyone would make a new character, you would all jump in, you would basically play through until you got to the level cap where you could go hostile with each other, which for us
Yeah.
could be like, you know, go all the way to the DZ, do the intro mission, and then fight.
Yeah.
And then that would be your, you could do that as well.
Yes. Yes, Bleak Games, it's coming out on December 10th, next week.
Exciting. And there's another thing I have to show you. You mentioned before Vanity Rewards. This is the
Yeah.
first one that's going to be included with hardcore. I mean, this is the only one planned right now. I still would love, like, if you completed everything or you managed to complete Tidal Basin or something, like
Yeah.
if you got a sick outfit. But this one is maybe the best hat that's ever been included in a game ever. I'm just going to say it.
Spoiler.
I don't know. It's pretty cool. No? Why are you laughing?
That's great.
What? Yeah, no. Who else is into that? There you go. YOLO in 2019. Oof.
Oof.
Oof in 2019. Where's the... Why someone has to have a Baby Yoda
Yes.
remote by now.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh? No one? All right, there you go. But that you'll get at level 2, right?
Yep. And there's more,
Yannick
more?
only love once.
right?
What's,
Is-
Sorry,
Am
I
I
wasn't
supposed to
listening.
say
I was
that?
reading something.
I don't know that there's more.
There's
Ma-
more.
There's more what?
When you have different levels.
Yeah, there's more.
Yeah.
There's more? Okay. All right, secrets.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's supposed to be a secret, so I apologize.
But this is
No.
since this is a beta, it's really important that people do give feedback.
Yeah.
I think this one's kind of cool because if
Yeah.
people love it and people want more of this, there's there could be more of this, right?
Yeah.
Leaderboards isn't something that's going to be in there, but it'd be cool if that came at some point. You know,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
being
there's-
able to see.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things we want to add to it, and there's a lot of ways this could go in terms of evolving as a feature. But really depends on how people will react to it. If players are having fun with it, if they want us to keep building, or if you guys think okay, no, that's not worth it, and then we'd rather do something else. So, but there's a lot of things we could do. Of course, leaderboards, more rewards. Maybe actually adding extra character slots.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's plenty
Yeah.
of stuff we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of things because I kind of want to hang around. I don't mind these streams running long if you guys don't have anywhere
can keep
to
going.
necessarily be right now. Are you okay to
Yeah.
chat for a little bit longer? Okay.
Absolutely.
There are a couple of videos that I want to show you. Obviously, if you've been here before, you know there's a segment that we do called Developer Q&A because we've done it once before.
Yeah.
But George has made a couple of videos. I think we have actually the first is with Braden, who is
nice.
This is unrelated to
And
hardcore, but
and
he's
it
in
won't
chat,
be
so-
upside down, probably.
The video might be completely upside down. I don't know. Let's see. So
bet on it.
let's just we don't need the transition, but let's just roll the developer Q&A, and we'll be back in a second.
I'm Braden League, and I'm a UI technical artist on the Division 2.
The reason we're speaking to you today is because we came across this picture on a forum post, and we're not really sure what it's trying to tell us. So that's the reason I've spoken to you, because hopefully you can enlighten us on it.
Let's take a look. So I think that this is part of the living world systems. Specifically, I think this is the piece of UI that tells you which round you're in when you're doing the faction training, which is, when you go talk to a civilian and you have to shoot a certain amount of targets in a timed allotment. But what's weird about this is that it says, 0 out of -1. It should never say -1. So something is definitely wrong here. I don't really know what, because we haven't made any changes to this system since last December. I looked at the change logs and nothing's really happened. But we can investigate it and try to find out.
Yeah, no, that's all we need then.
My name is Noel Walling, and I'm a senior narrative designer here at Massive. I've been on the division for a little over 5 years.
Okay, and the reason I've caught up with you today is to try and answer a question that's been on a lot of people's minds online, and that is, who's running the electricity grid within DC?
So only very specific parts of the electricity grid are actually functioning and staffed by sort of professionals. Places like the White House are run by the electricity grid, but those are mostly sort of being generated by minimally run, minimally staffed places that are controlled by the JTF, which is the Joint Task Force. It's just the sort of group of loose law enforcement that are still sort of working. Any other buildings are mostly off the grid, or they've had power cut to them to prevent things like fires or electricity causing those fires, that kind of stuff. There are also buildings that are being run off of backup generation. So things like in the theater settlement, where they've hooked up their own stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, there you go. I saw some interesting questions in chat while we were doing that. So if you don't
Yeah.
mind sitting around and answering a few things.
let's do it.
Do you guys have a plan to release a game that isn't broken? But I think I get where that's coming from. There are some things we haven't talked about that aren't being addressed in 6.1.
Yeah.
Like
There's
Dark Zone stuff,
There's a lot of
PvP.
things, yes.
Yeah, and
going on?
I guess to be clear, right? What we're doing in 6.1 isn't our answer.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of people are right. We're bringing up a lot of this talk about PvP and DZ. A lot of people talking about loot.
Yes.
A lot of people talking about a bunch of other things. Right? So maybe we can answer some of those questions.
Yeah, and we're not going to have all the answers to those things today, but I just want to reassure people that there are people in the office working really hard on a lot of those things, even if we haven't said what a lot of those things are before.
Yeah.
I had Frederick on here a few weeks ago, and he kind of alluded to some of the things, like he wasn't happy with the loot system and those sorts of things.
Yes.
Yeah, because we, first of all, and maybe we haven't done a good job saying this, right? We totally hear you when we talk about hey, there are way too many permutations, way too much RNG. I can't always make the build that I want to make. There's too many kind of blockers. I have a hard time finding loot that I am looking for. All of those kind of things, right? And we've put some kind of band-aids on, right?
Yeah.
On this kind of wound, so to speak. But really, right, the intent isn't to continue doing that. The intent is to actually go and suture the wound eventually, right?
Yeah.
But that takes time,
Yes.
and that takes a lot of thought and a lot of effort. So we are working on that,
Yeah.
right?
There
We
are
have
people
much
doing that right
bigger plans, and we have been working on it, and we are continuing to work on that. And we don't have any concrete release date on that, but it will be in the future.
Yeah.
So, and we're really excited to talk more in detail about that too in the future.
Yeah. We've said there's a lot of things we're working on, and it's really like I think every time we see feedback from the players, from a lot of you on where the game is at, and especially after TU6, where we made a lot of improvements with TU6, but it's never meant to be like the one update that makes everything great. You know, it's like it was like trying to fix what we can and all of that, but at the same time, it's thinking long term of what are the deeper changes we can make and all of that. So these are all the things that we're looking at now, and it just needs to be clear for everyone. But yeah, all of these are things we're working on. And just because we're making a hardcore mode doesn't mean we're not working on those. We have a big team, so we have a bunch of things that are coming.
Yeah, one of the things that I've seen pop up in chat, I think it was Carlos McNuggets I was asking before, it kind of ties back into that idea of what incentive is there to get certain loot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I mean, we've seen flashes of it, like the Eagle Bearer,
Yeah.
is heavily incentivized by doing the raid, and
Yep.
Yeah. But even then, right? Like, you need a reason to want those things, right? Because just getting those things and playing the same old content that you already can beat isn't super exciting, right? So you need new motivators, right? And that's also something that like we hear a lot, right? And it's something that we also feel and really believe in. So. Yeah, so it's yet another thing that we are absolutely working on.
It's cool. I wish I could grab all the answers for you right now, but
I mean, we're going to talk more about it, and when we said at the beginning, we made that statement. We said we want to be better at giving visibility and everything. Doesn't mean we can open the curtain and just show all the things we're working on. But as soon as possible, we're going to be giving more visibility. And here, for all of those, I mean, like we're going to start actually explaining a bit more what we're working on. We're not going to wait until the last minute to just reveal everything and try to make a lot of noise. We really want to have a conversation and actually try to give a bit more light. And I realize that saying that now, while we are not actually going to tell you what we are doing, might sound a bit hypocrite of me, but it's. We really mean it. We're going to show you more about that very, very soon.
Yeah.
We've seen some other things popping up just quickly, like the raid we talked about last time. It's coming next year. We still don't have a date for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's on the list as well.
Next
There's
year.
people asking, is this all coming with episode 3? What are the expectations that we can give people around that?
So that's a really good question, right? So a lot of these changes that we're talking about, and this is a lot of improvements, right, are pretty core and fundamental things. And they're things that will not be releasing in TU3, right? So there'll be things that we are continuing to work on after TU3. Or, sorry, episode 3.
Episode 3. Yeah, numbers.
Which numbers are hard. It's TU7, episode 3.
Yes.
So like I said before, there's a lot to talk about. And while we don't have all of those things to talk about today, we will make sure that we try and maintain a really open dialogue on all of those things that are coming.
Because PvP came up as well. That's another one of those topics. That's something that we're looking at. Especially we're looking at the Dark Zone, right? And how we make that more engaging, kind of more intuitive, more about kind of interactions and stories from players, right? Making that just really straightforward and all about player agency.
I didn't catch the name, but somebody in chat earlier while you were talking about the loot game, and I know that, and was talking about recalibration. Like a recalibration could fix all of the issues. Well, recalibration alone maybe not, but recalibration is also part of the thing.
But it's part of the puzzle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when we look at loot, I mean, we're looking at the actual RPG systems, so the way gear is generated, the kind of stats that you have. We're looking at the knock-on effects from that, which is how we distribute loot. And then, of course, what's attached to that is like inventory management. Like that is the entire package, right? Like it's enormous.
That's the game.
Right? It's kind of the game. But all those things are all interconnected, right? So it requires looking and fundamentally kind of reevaluating all of that together.
Yeah, obviously that ties into a lot of questions I've been having when I've been playing gameplay streams about balance and that sort of stuff. With a lot of these changes affecting everything, obviously the balance of everything is has to be addressed.
And that's not something that you want to like trickle in and have people rebuild all the time with, oh, we made this minor challenge. We want to kind of keep it together, kind of send it as a package so we're not asking people to do that
Yeah.
kind of annoying, now I have to rebuild everything
Yeah.
kind of moment.
Cool.
Yeah.
We've been here a long time, and I love it, but I do have a couple more things we need to get to today. We have a couple of agent highlights to show you before we head off, so let's check those out. Well, I can't remember what these ones are. I think...
Hamish with short hair is so handsome.
Maybe, but I can't flip it, which is
No.
a bit alarming. Cool. So Larry Necro and Trisan with the cosplay on the right, which you can see, and then the Photoshop on the left. That is sick.
That is really cool.
And I
really
love
awesome.
also that this is like a throwback to Division 1.
Yeah.
It's a
Very,
It's a
fitting
frosty
for the
time.
time of year
Snow.
too, right?
Snow.
that is a really cool
We
outfit.
all miss snow.
Yeah, people in chat are into the outfit. I love
Yes.
it. And then the next one we have. Ooh,
Oh, nice.
what am I looking at, George?
Look at that.
So this is the Moonlight's sniper rifle, but it's based on the specialization. So it's his custom
Yeah.
and everything on it.
Oh, so you probably heard
That's
of Moonlight.
impressive.
This is actually like a true to life sized sniper rifle, but customized by Moonlight 1907. That's
Super impressive.
them's some big bullets. Wow. So yeah, if you do want to share things you've been making in and around our game, we've had cakes, we've had miniature things, we've had some Lego, we have all sorts of Division related things. So yeah, share them online, and we will hashtag agent highlights for that on Twitter, and we'll make sure we share those. The download size of 6.1, do you guys know? I should just saw it in chat.
We need to find out. I don't know.
We do not know, but
Yeah.
make sure you stay updated on Twitter and all that sort of stuff, and we'll
Yes.
get that out to you.
Yes.
We've talked about a lot today. Thank you very much. Do you think you'll be able to join me next week? And basically, can I assume that you'll be here? I miss you all when you're not.
Yes.
So will we see more of you?
Yes.
I'm just trying to get.
We'll be here until you kick us out.
I'm trying to
Yes.
get a live commitment from both of you.
Or until chat kicks us out.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're
Yeah,
like,
we
I'm
can,
too busy, because you are a very, very busy man, I'll be like, but you promised chat
But
that
you
you'd
promised. Come on.
be here. But no, it's cool. Thanks very much, guys, for chatting to us. Not just me, but everyone today. Next State of the Game this year, we're going to do one next week
Yeah.
after the update on Tuesday, because I really want to check back in with people and just kind of hear what's going on with the people who are
See where we're at, yes.
planning it out. There won't be any announcements next week, I would imagine, but it's still cool to check
There's
back
none
in.
planned at the moment. You never know what can happen until next
Yeah.
week.
But we will.
Why is Yannick so much taller than Hamish?
I think we're about the same height. Whoa, he doesn't think so.
No, I was going to say
That face was.
I was going to say perspective, but then I realized no, that should be the opposite.
Yeah. Yannick's actually 10 feet tall. Do you know Eric's is like 6'100"?
That guy. though.
Anyway, off topic.
That guy.
We'll see you again next week, everyone. If you want to stick around and check out some Division 2 photos, you can do that. We have a hashtag you can use for that if you want to have your own photo mode things shared on the stream. So hashtag the Division 2 photos, and we will see you next week.
Yes.
You better be here.
Yep.
Yes?
See you next week.
Yes?
I
Yes, they'll be here.
I
All
won't
right.
because I have things to do. But anyway,
Yannick's bailing on you.
I'll
but
be back soon and have fun with 6.1.
see you soon. Bye.
See you.